right, welcome to 4-4. There's going to be a lot of videos on this, and this takes a lot of practice. We're going to spend a lot of class time on this. So I'm going to do different videos for different types of factoring. The first one I'm doing is sum and difference of two cubes. I have my own acronyms for them. I'm doing page 181, numbers 4 and 5, and then you're going to skip to 184 and do numbers 13 and 15, which you can check at the back of your book. Okay, so let's start out with a sum of two cubes, which we're going to call SOTCA. All right, this is number 4 on page 181. Now, you have to realize when you have a sum of two cubes. So, is it a sum? Are they both perfect cubes? A cubed is a perfect cube. It's in the name. Is 27 a perfect cubed? Yup, because the cube root is 3. So, once you realize that, you have a few patterns you're going to have to know. First thing you do, you're going to write a set of small parentheses and a set of big parentheses. All right? Small parentheses, big parentheses. Now, in the small parentheses, we're going to cube root the first, and we're going to cube root the last. So, let me make that look like an A and 3. All right. And now we're not looking at the question anymore. So, let's see if I can focus on not looking at the question anymore. And my dog and her ridiculous tongue. All right, so don't look at the question anymore. And if August could actually have opposable thumbs and help me out here, she'd hold it up so I wouldn't have to. But let's look right here. In the big set of parentheses, we're going to square the first. Sound familiar? We're going to square the last. Sound familiar? And then we're going to squeeze, which means multiply, but we're not going to double. So, square the first, square the last, squeeze, don't double. Okay? So right now I have A, 3, A squared, 3A, 9. Now finally, the signs. The signs go in the acronym SOAP. Same, opposite, always, positive. SOAP, same, opposite, always, positive. So the first sign is going to be the same as the question. The next sign is going to be the opposite of it. First sign, same as the question, same, opposite, always positive. And we just successfully factored a sum of two cubes. By the way, this should not be factorable. Square the first, square the last, squeeze, don't double, should not be factorable. Okay? On to number 5. Which is going to require us to do something first. Sorry, wrong black pen. So, number 5 is a difference of two squares, which we're calling DOTCA. It's actually really the same thing. For number 5, though, one of the big takeaways from this lesson, this section I mean, is that you always need to look for something to factor out first. So the question is 6z to the 5th minus 750z squared. Is there a greatest common factor we can take out? And the answer is yes. They both have a 6 in common. They both have a z squared in common. So what's left over? Well, I took out the 6. I took out 2 of these 5. So I have a cubed left over minus, I took 6 out of 750. So I have 125 left over. And I took that z squared, I took this z squared, I put it right there anyway, so I don't need a z squared. So first thing, I took out the greatest common factor. And then what's left over is a difference of two cubes. Z cubed's a cubed, it's in the name, z cubed. And then 125 is a cube because the cube root is 5. So don't forget to bring the greatest common factor along for the ride. But for the DOTCA, we're going to do the first step. Small set of parentheses, big set of parentheses. Cube root the first, cube root the last. Cube root of z cubed is z, cube root of 125 is 5. Don't look at the question. Square the first, square the last. Squeeze, which means multiply, squeeze, don't double. So 5z in the middle. And then finally, SOAP. We have to do our signs. Same as the question, opposite, always positive. And then here is our answer. 6z squared times the quantity z minus 5 times the quantity z squared plus 5z plus 25. Please make sure you go back and you write down all the steps on how to do a satka and a datka. All right, go ahead and when you're done with the steps, try number 13 and 15 on page 184 and check your work in the back of the book to see if you got the steps right. All right.